PCT hiking, conquering the Sierras, a thrilling trek. PCT, ascending the Sierras, the trek. At last, I found myself in Kennedy Meadows. Initially, I had intended to take a rest day, but an overwhelming surge of nervous energy compelled me to organize my gear and set off early the following morning. I was lodging at the general store, where I could camp at no cost and enjoy showers and laundry services for a nominal fee. After waiting my turn for the outdoor shower, I hung my small load of laundry on the line to dry. I collected all my packages and then faced the challenge of fitting microspikes, an ice axe, and a bare canister into my backpack. It took some time to arrange everything, and I was shocked by how heavy it felt. I was preparing for a 6-day carry over 116 miles, but after trying on the pack, I began to doubt my ability to cover the planned distance. The thought of navigating a tricky snow traverse or crossing a turbulent river with such a bulky pack was daunting. Big Bertha is ready for the Sierras. My heart raced as anxiety set in. I needed to calm myself, and what better way than with a scoop of Ben & Jerry's Chunky Monkey. I focused on savoring the creamy treat until my breathing returned to normal. "You'll be fine," I reassured myself. I entered the Sierra Nevada on June 6, just 4 days shy of my original target date. This target date was the primary reason I had chosen to start my journey on April 28. I understood that a later start would mean higher temperatures in the desert and the possibility of trail closures due to wildfires. However, I was also wary of tackling high passes in the Sierra under extreme snowy conditions. Thru-hiking doesn't always have to be a joyous experience, but I preferred to avoid terrifying situations. For me, there's a delicate balance between pushing my limits and challenging my preconceived notions of what I can handle by embarking on adventures in which I have no prior experience. By the time I and my pack ventured into the Sierra Nevada, the snow had already begun to melt. The major passes were manageable with the right equipment, but the more significant concern was the water crossings resulting from the snowmelt. The initial stretch introduces hikers to the Sierra Nevada and its high elevations, featuring 2 significant waypoints that can be dangerous for inexperienced hikers early in the season: Mt. Whitney and Forester Pass. Snow-capped peaks in the Sierra Nevada. The first 3 days in the Sierras were absolutely delightful. After trekking 700 miles through the desert, the trail transitioned into lush forests of foxtail pine and vibrant green meadows. Water and shade were plentiful. The trail ascended past 10,000 feet, with snow-covered peaks dominating the skyline. So far, the Sierra Nevada was living up to its reputation. Mt. Whitney, the pinnacle of the world. At the end of the 3rd day, I established base camp by Whitney Creek, located 8 miles from Mt. Whitney. Standing at 14,505 feet, Mt. Whitney is the highest point in the contiguous United States. Although it is not part of the PCT, many hikers choose to tackle this side quest due to its accessibility. I set my alarm for midnight, planning to start my hike at 12:45 a.m. Did I manage to sleep? Not at all. I began my ascent under a half moon. It was chilly, but I warmed up quickly. The summit was 8 miles away, and I aimed to reach it by sunrise. 3 miles in, I encountered snowfields. The snow shimmered in the moonlight, obscuring the trail as I scrambled over rocks and navigated around streams. In the distance, I spotted headlamps bobbing up the switchbacks. Eventually, I reached the switchbacks where the trail was mostly free of snow. I felt strong. After battling acute mountain sickness on the CDT, I had prepared for the PCT by obtaining Diamox from my doctor. I was on the approach trail when the sun began to rise. I was nearly at the summit as dawn broke. I relish a good side quest. The valley below awakened under a canvas of pink skies. After one last steep climb over snow, I finally reached the summit. It was breathtaking and cold, and I couldn't help but smile at my accomplishment. However, my joy waned on the return to base camp. I was exhausted and overheated. The snowfields had started to turn to slush under the sun. I staggered into camp 10 hours after my departure, took a brief nap and packed up. I hiked another 7 miles, set up camp, and set my alarm for 3:30 a.m. Mt. Whitney was behind me, but Forester Pass awaited. View of Guitar Lake on the descent from Whitney. Forester Pass, the stuff of nightmares? Forester Pass, standing at 13,153 feet, is the highest point on the PCT. This pass had haunted my dreams since I received my permit in January. It is infamous for its snowy traverses, cornices, and steep snow chutes. I was aware that a recent heat wave had melted much of the snow on the south side, but uncertainty still made me anxious. I aimed to reach the pass early to avoid the snow on the north side becoming too slushy. I was on the trail by 4 a.m. The first challenge was a frigid water crossing that reached past my knees. My feet felt like painful blocks of ice for half an hour before they finally warmed up. The 4-mile approach was gentle, and I didn't encounter snow for the first 2 miles. Snowfields on the way to Forester. After more navigation around rocks and snow, I finally reached the switchbacks. Unlike Mt. Whitney, these switchbacks were covered in snow, but my microspikes provided the necessary grip. I arrived at the notorious snow chute, where the trail was obscured by snow and steep slopes. Gripping my axe, I took a deep breath and carefully made my way across the chute. Once I was through, I felt a wave of relief. A jubilant pause after crossing the snow chute. From there, it was just a few more steps to the top of the pass. I exhaled deeply and smiled, relishing the release of long-held tension. However, there was no time for celebration. The north side of the pass was still covered in snow. The descent required traversing across snow down to a ridge and further into a valley. I lost a trekking pole while attempting a mini glissade. Clearly, my glissading skills need improvement. Crossing the pass was the easy part. The snow on the descent stretched for miles. That night, I enjoyed a restful sleep in a bed in Bishop. With Whitney and Forester behind me, I still had 6 high passes to conquer, but that was a concern for another day. Affiliate disclosure. This website contains affiliate links, meaning the trek may earn a commission on any product or service you purchase through the links in the articles or advertisements. You pay the same price as you would otherwise, and your purchase helps support the trek's mission to provide quality backpacking advice and information. Thank you for your support. To learn more, please visit the About This site page.